Hello, this is part 3 of my talk on feeding babies and children with Down syndrome. If you've not watched any of my previous talks on this, then hello, my name is Nicole Murray and I'm a speech and language therapist specialising in children's eating and drinking skills. I work for the NHS but also do some independent work, and the team at Positive About Down Syndrome have approached me to talk to you specifically about feeding and Down syndrome. Now, I've separated this into 3 separate parts, so you may well have met me already in parts 1 and 2. Part 1 is all about the typical mechanics of eating and drinking, and part 2 is about when things go a bit wrong or a dysphagia. And this third part is what you can do at home to help if you're worried your little one is not managing their feeds, or you're concerned they may have a dysphagia or maybe even aspirating. Please feel free to watch these in any order, but it might help to start with number 1, but do them at your own pace. As I've said in the previous talks, I do need to stress that if you are at all worried that your baby or child is not managing their food and drink at any stage of the feeding and eating and drinking process, or maybe that you're just worried that they're just not gaining weight, then please speak to your health visitor or GP for a referral to your local feeding, speech and language therapy feeding team or your dietitian for an assessment. But in the meantime, there are some things that you can do at home to help. And to start off with, let's talk about breastfeeding. So specifically, I want to sort of reassure you that if for any reason your child is coughing and spluttering during a breastfeed, yes, it may indicate that they are aspirating, but studies have shown that aspiration of breast milk, whether that's direct from a direct breastfeed or from an express breast milk via a bottle, so when they're aspirating, remember that's when it's gone down the wrong way and potentially is going into the lungs, then it is okay to continue breastfeeding, because breast milk basically contains so many goodies that it's tolerated by the lungs much, much better. But again, if you are worried that they are aspirating, it's still important to get them assessed, and your speech therapist can obviously support you to continue to breastfeed. But when you're breastfeeding and there may be coughing, spluttering, or maybe getting a bit tired, then actually different holds may specifically help with that side of things. You may want to do a more side-lying position. So I've got some props to help me. So if you imagine, rather than doing sort of that sort of position, you may want to do that. Again, if you're doing that already, then this position may help a little bit more. Now, I am a speech and language therapist, and I've got many years of working with babies and children who have breastfed, but I'm not a lactation consultant. So you may prefer, in the first instance, to get a bit more support from them. However, if there's a stamina issue going on with the breastfeeding side of things, so stamina meaning that they're just getting really quite tired quite quickly, they seem to get out of breath quite quickly, or they're not able to sort of latch for very long, then you may need